Let's switch to the negotiations over COVID-19 relief. This week, we did see a restart of more negotiations for another relief package. The bipartisan working group released their package. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell released his proposal. Secretary Mnuchin and Speaker Pelosi have started talks again. Where are these negotiations? Are we still looking at the same issues that we've been looking at this entire time since the summer?
So I think the issues remain the same. We have, do we want to extend UI? Do we want to include a federal bonus in it? What's going to be the role of direct checks to individuals? Will we have more money for schools, state and local governments? Will there be liability protection for businesses? We've been through all of these discussions a number of times. I credit the Biden team with restarting the talks. I mean, there was a very public push by the Biden economic team to say, look, we need something for the economy now. Now is what matters, not later and bigger. But even if you can't get what you want, we should get something now. That gave Pelosi and Schumer the air cover to move off their position where it had to be the $3 trillion heroes bill or nothing else, and that allowed the negotiations to genuinely restart. The bipartisan effort, they just aligned themselves with, so they've moved from 3 to under $1 trillion. That's a big move. And what I think remains the wild cards at the moment are, number one, what will President Trump sign? Mitch McConnell said this very clearly. He said, I'm not going to vote on a bill that the president won't sign, so we need to find out what that is. I don't know if he's called you and told you, but I don't know. We will find out in due course, I assume. And I'm assuming that all of these calculations are influenced by the Georgia runoff, that it will be unlikely Republicans would vote on a $3 trillion package right before the voters go to the polls and basically have the opportunity to cast judgment on the Republican Party by voting against the candidates there. So, I think that makes it harder because, McConnell and the Republicans don't want to get too far out over their skis. They've been at 500. Do they go to 6, go to 7? I don't see them going to 9. We'll see. But I think it would be desirable to do something. As we've discussed, I'm not in the we're doomed to have a double dip camp. I think that's too negative. But there is the risk of downside fall off. And so taking insurance against that risk makes sense. It's also true that we have 11 million people who are long-term unemployed. We've gotten half of the folks who lost their jobs back to work, but the other half are out there. And we ought to worry about their welfare. And so doing something that, might not be everything everyone dreamed, but gets that help, I think is important.